Nikon Education Foundation presents 7 weeks free data analytic training. In these 7 weeks, you're going to learn Excel, MySQL, and Power BI. Also, you'll be getting a certificate of completion by the end of this course. Join us on this journey of becoming a certified data analyst.
Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to today's data analytics training school, and I believe you have your notepad beside you and your laptop on already. So let's start the training. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Again, I believe you all installed MySQL. Please, I need your responses. I believe you have installed MySQL already. Please, I need
Yes, sir.
responses.
Yes, we have.
Everybody.
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Okay, good. And the second question is that yesterday, were you able to practice what I did yesterday after the installation? Were you able to at least practice few after rewatching the video? Were you able to practice? I need a response, please.
I actually downloaded the app today, so I'm yet to practice it.
I've practiced. I'm still on it.
I also practiced, but I'm having some error.
Go again. Okay. If you're having an error, please just rewatch the video. Thank you. So today we are going to continue from where we have stopped. Yesterday we looked at few things in MySQL. We looked at how to create a database, and we did one, and then how to populate the table builds yesterday as well. And also we also looked at how to update your table. Also, we also looked at add column, a new column to your table. We looked at how to delete a particular row. We looked at how to delete a particular row as well, and we also looked at the aggregate function. We looked at this salary, and then we sum the salary and the average salary. Sorry, I've already deleted it, so I won't be able to show it. We sum this particular column, the sum salary, and then average salary. We also sum the allowance. So we sum the allowance, and then we also got the average allowance, and we're able to execute this particular column because we already added it to our database. You know, when we added this particular column allowance, and then we updated the database yesterday. So we're able to, as a result of that, we're able to get the total allowance, the average allowance. We also gave those that are above a particular age year, we multiply the allowance by 2, and I logical statement in Microsoft Excel. So without taking much of our time, there's something I want to draw on this particular table, but since we are going to look at another material, I won't need to do it again. But there is something I want to show you before we move to the next lesson. And what I want to show you is how to drop a schema. How to drop a schema. In other words, how to delete your database. That is, let's say you don't want this particular table again and you want to get rid of it. You want to delete. In Microsoft Excel, we right click and then we delete, or you highlight the table and then you delete. Different routes to delete file table in Microsoft Excel. You can also use your, if it is manual table, if the one you used you created manually, that is using grid to draw the table, you can use eraser to get rid of it. But here in SQL, it's different. I cannot just say I want to copy this table and then say I want to something that my SQL, since we are dealing with relational data, and then I'll pass that statement, that instruction database, and then I will retrieve the information. Or in other words, not retrieving this time now, I will be able to delete what I want to delete from my database. So now, if I want to do that, I will just come down to my database there, and you just right click, and then you come to drop schema. And after coming to drop schema, you hit it, and then it will tell you, please confirm permanent deletion of your schema and all its data, that is the table under my database. So I'll just hit drop now. So immediately I hit drop now. Don't, if you have built, if you have already created the database, since you want to use it to practice, but when you bring in another data from Microsoft that you are about to create for practice, you can delete. No longer here again. I've deleted the database.
So we can't hear you. I think the network is keeping.
So please check your network. So remember the action output. Yeah, this is drop database Olawale, and this is the pass mark. I told you that when you are doing it well, you are doing when you are retrieving your information and you are in line with what you are doing, you know what you'll be seeing. When you steer it, it shows that you have an error. So you need retrieving your information. So that's that. So today we are going to look at a sales data. This is the data we are going to look at today. This is the data we are looking at today. I know you're all familiar with this You are familiar with it, I know. Used it to, we've used for pivot table. I remember that I even gave assignments on it. That should be 2 weeks ago, last week or 2 weeks ago. I gave you assignment on it on pivot table, and I said you should get some information using pivot table. Remember, I gave you an assignment the last 2 weeks or last week. So now we are going the for analysis. Also, before I move on, the question the lady asked me yesterday, that can we put currency symbol here under the revenue, under the price? Yes, it is very possible to put currency there. That is, if you are importing data from Microsoft Excel, when you're importing from outside, you can, from Microsoft Excel, you can import it. When you import it to SQL, it will allow you this, the symbol will show, the currency symbol will show. But when you are creating a database and you want to put a currency there, MySQL will not allow you. It will not, no matter, it will not allow you. So that means inside the SQL, you cannot do that. You can't put currency there. It will not allow you. But when you are when you are importing from another file which has currency already, it will be imported successfully. But inside MySQL, it will be very difficult to get currency symbol. So it's not possible inside SQL, but from Excel to SQL, it is possible. So that's that. So now let's look at this particular table. Now, if you look at this table, you will see that we have 909 rows. I can still remember in Microsoft Excel, we have 909 rows on this table or in this table. So now, I want to use a particular statement here. And what I want to do is that we have 909 rows. Let's say you are given a task and you were told that we want you to give us just the analysis we want you to carry, irrespective of the date and other information on the data. Analyze post 100 data, post 100 on this particular table. That is, retrieve from a database, retrieve 100 rows from this database and run your analysis. That's what we want from you. So how do we go about that? So I've already put select star from sales analysis, my semicolon, and I will say enter. Then I will just say limit. I will say limit 100. I'll put my semicolon and I will hit my enter. Now, if you look at this particular table now, everything is 100. Now, there is no need to continue to do it like this, that let me start counting whether it is 100. It will take your time. You don't need to even do that. Just check your action outputs and look at number 4 here. You will see that select star from sales data cell, limit 100 rows returned. So I have retrieved 100 rows from my database. So that is how to use limit in SQL. So now let's continue with our query. Now the next thing we want to do is that we want to we want to bring out distinct from this table. distinct from year, 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 and year from these 4 columns. Now, if you look at Microsoft Excel, you look at my dashboard here. Now, you will see that if you look at year, now if you look at year, you will see salesperson. Another salesperson, you will see Arnold Cole, Brahasa, you will see 13 salesperson here. Now, on the table here, many people, many salesperson appeared more than once. In fact, many salesperson appeared more than once. If we use distinct counts as we use it last 2 weeks, distinct count, you will see that you'll be able to know the number of rows, the number of times that this guy appeared. For how long this guy as well. Now, if you look at this particular table, you will see that Arnold Cole, you only see this guy once. You are seeing this guy once, this guy once. Now, in Microsoft Excel, we can call this distinct sales. What is the meaning of distinct? Simply means a value that appears or multiple times. That's the meaning of distinct. A value that appears more than once is called distinct. So all these names are distinct because on our general table they appear more than once. So they are distinct. So now what exec did was to bring that person that appeared 100 times. He will bring it once. He will show that person once on the once. That's how it has been designed. And when you say unique means you are talking about a figure that you are not seeing twice now. You are not seeing many times, just only once. That is a unique value, something that appears just only once. If you check all the whole 1,000 table, you only see just one of that thing, one. That's unique. But distinct, something that is many, multiples, something that appears many times. So now, we successfully brought distinct from our general table here. Now, in SQL also, how can we use this function called distinct? That is, using distinct for my salesperson, for my product, instead of returning all the nutri-milk, all the salesperson, all the region, all the customer, I just want to see numerator once, Brahasa once, just like a unique. How do I go about that? So let's start from salesperson. So I will just remove this one, this star, then I will put my distinct. Select distinct sales person. So I'll put my semicolon and I will hit my enter. Can you see? So I've been able to retrieve my distinct salesperson here. If you look at numerator, you say it only appeared once. Now, Brayasa won. Now look at it now. That means we have 12 distinct, 12 rows returned. 12 rows returned. So that means I already have something like, I already have exact thing like this. This is also 12 rows. You won't count the header. If you count from 2 to 13, it's 12. So you won't count the header. So it's 12 rows. So we have done SQL. And I want to do that for other rows. So let me come down here again to check my, okay, I will just say enter, or because of time, I will just copy, Control C, and then Control V, enter, Control V, enter, Control V. Now, What I will just do now is to change this particular stuff. I will change this to, let me come back here. Product, region, and customer. Okay. So I'll go into I'll write my region. Product. So let me execute the region as well. So can you see these are the distinct? And if you look at the general table, it appeared more than once. Now this is distinct. Now I've been able to see that I have just only one region. I have just southeast region. I have southwest, northeast, and northwest. If you look at the general, if you look at the Excel table, you will see the same thing. 4 rows returned. So let's see for our customer as well. Hit my enter. Then we are under customer, we have AS stores, we have ShopRite, we have KFC, we have Mr. Biggs, and we have Spas. And let's see under products. We have Nature Milk, we have milk tea, we have water dispenser, we have fruit juice, and we also have drinking water. So we've made use of our distinct, just like Microsoft Excel pivot table. So here I will just write my comment here. I will write my comment here, and I will put this query is to show how to make use of these things. So now this query is to show how to make use of these things. Now the next thing we want to look at from this table, I think I'm going to do something. I will bring this particular stuff so that I will be seeing my table. Put it here. So it will enable me to see my table. Now let's look at our table again. So we have been able to use this thing to return the salesperson, the product, the region, and the customer. Now, in Microsoft, you will remember this particular stuff. Sort from A to Z, from A to Z, and Z to A. Remember sorting and filtering. Good. That is when you use your A to Z, it will bring the name from A to Z, and then from Z to A, from ascending to descending, then descending to ascending. So this one is ascending to descending, descending to ascending. So now in SQL, we can also achieve this. Now let's come to SQL and see what I'm talking about. Now I will say like this. I will say Control C and then Control V. So let's start from data sales, enter, where sales that is this column. We want to filter this column. Where salesperson, so let's start from sales. So let's start from sales data, from sales data to sales. It should be not, it should be order. Okay, it's showing me now. Order by sales person, ascending order. So here in ascending order now, control plus enter. Can you see now? Ascending order. You will see anno code, anno code, anno code. So when you continue to, when you scroll down, you will see from A, it will jump to the other salesperson. From the other salesperson, it will jump to another salesperson. That's sorting and filtering. Are you hearing me now? That's sorting. You are sorting the column. You are sorting salesperson column. So that's how to use that. So you just write your statement. So let's start from sales data sales order by. So by the time you say order by, then it means that you want to filter a particular column. So I'm going to also do that for descending order. So I'm going to come down here. So this one will go for DSC. Is it correct? DSC. Control plus enter. So yeah, it will start from Von Allen. Can you see from Von Allen? Then it will now be going down, going down. So I have just filtered this particular flow. That's how to make use of ASC and DASC, ascending and descending, and you will ensure you put your order by. So I'm going to put a space here. I know writing the comments might take a whole lot of time, but when you are going through it, just know that whenever you see space here, just know that we have just applied another function or we've written another query. Hence, there is a space here. Here, I ought to be writing comments here, but because of time, I will just be putting space. So whenever you are revising it again, just know that we have jumped to another statement, another statement. So thank you. So let me move again. Now, the next thing we want to look at is we want to look at the where clause. The where clause. The where clause. This statement, and I need to write a comment for this. How to make use of where clause. Good. So how to make use of where clause. Now let's do something. I will copy this again, Ctrl+C, and then I'll paste Ctrl+V. Now this is what I want to do. We want to filter this date. Remember in Microsoft Excel, we also use filter to filter our date. Now we want to do the same thing in SQL. How can we use SQL to filter a date from the database? How can we use SQL? Now, I want to filter my database. I want to filter this salesperson, this information on this table, and I want to use my date. That means I want to use date filter. I want to filter my date so that I can retrieve so that I can retrieve the information or the activities that were performed. So now, so let's start from sales data.sales, where salesperson equals to von Halon. Now, if you look at this, if I execute this, you will see what's going to happen. Now, I executed it successfully. But if you look at this particular data, there is nothing here. Nothing is here. Now, you know, when I say, so let's start from this, from my database, where salesperson is equal to von Halon. What I was expecting to retrieve will be only von Halon detail. All his details. That's what I'm expecting. But when I hit my enter, I only saw my header. I did not see my what I executed. So what happened? Now, if you come back to your table and you look at von Halon, you will see that there is letter R here, Halon. Now, if you look at what I typed, there is no R here. So I won't see the results until I correct the R. But it gave me a pass mark. It means I'm still on track, just that there is an error. You notice an error, so I need to fix it. So now I will just put my R here and execute the task again. Now I put my R. Then after executing the task, I still saw my header, but I got my pass mark. What is going on? Now I'm trying to let you to see that when you are writing query, these are the things that you can experience this kind of thing. And when you experience it, you don't need to be hard on yourself and be saying, maybe I don't know it, maybe I'm lost, maybe I don't even know what I am doing. No, since you have this pass mark, it means you are on track. Then it means there is something that you are yet to put into your data, into what you are writing. So what are you going to do? You will come back to your table again and hit enter and check again. Now, if you look at this guy again, after putting my R, I still saw the header, not his content, the information. Now, if you look at here, you will see that there is a space here. After the comma, there is one space here before Halon. Now, if you check what I did, I didn't put any space here. So it will not execute. These are the things you need to learn when you are writing query. Now, I'm going to put that space now. And let's see again. Control plus enter. Now, I got the result. I've been able to filter just only Halon. Just only von Halon. Now, I have not yet used my date. You know, Microsoft Excel, you can also do the same in Microsoft Excel in pivot table. And then if you do this in pivot table, now, what you just do is that, don't forget we are correlating the two together because we say it's for analysis. So we are using SQL to carry out analysis, and then we are using also pivot table for our analysis. So we are correlating the both together. That, oh, so they are doing the same thing. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Now let's get down here and bring my salesperson here. I will bring insert slicer, and then I will bring my salesperson. Okay. Now I will reduce it. I will reduce the space. Then I will connect my table. Some people will say, are we still doing Excel again? But we are through with Excel now. I'm seeing people thinking, what are we doing again? Well, this is how to learn. You correlate, you interact data together, you correlate data together so that you yourself you will know that okay, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, you correlate them together, see the correlation, do that, and that's what shows that you know what you are doing and you know it very well. So okay, and then I'll drag it here. Now we are dealing with von Halon. So I will get von Halon here. Then I will click von Halon. Just just take your mind off this. We are not doing this. Just let your heart be here. So now these are the information of von Halon on pivot table. Just only von Halon without dates. So if you look at your, if you come to Microsoft, if you come to SQL as well, you will see the same thing. So if you add all the revenue together, you will get the same thing. If you add all the items together, you will get the same thing. If you add all the item price together, you will still get the same thing. Now, if you look at the product, Nutri-Milk, and if you come down to Microsoft Excel here, you will see that he bought Nutri-Milk, water dispenser, fruit juice, and drinking water. Those things he sold. If you come to your workbench and you start to scroll, you will see the same thing. So it means that the details under there, you will also see it there, just only for von Halon alone. So I said, so let's start from where sales person is equal to von Halon. Now this is where I'm going. Don't forget I said we want to look at the date function, the date filtering, and dates equals to put my 2010, my quotation, 2010 February, put my quotation, then now. Let me show you something. Let me execute it, then I will tell you the reason for this particular. So let me execute. You will see what is going to happen. Now you have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds my SQL version for the right syntax to use. Now, if you look at time. I think I need to be fast now. Time is going. Now, if you look at here, if you look at our data here, Control plus Enter, you will see that the date format has a slash, not dash. This is slash, not dash. And if you look at what I have done, I'm intentionally doing this so that you can know how it works, so that when you are writing as a beginner, when you are writing your code and you are saying stuff, you know, be just like maybe I don't know you, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to show you that these are the likely things that you might look out for. So now look at I put dash and that is not correct based on the format of this date. Now it means I will just come down here, I will put my slash, I will come here, I also put my slash here, and then this error is still there. Why? Because I put a quotation here, quotation here. Quotation ought to be just in front and at the back. So I will remove this quotation. Now I'm good to go. Now salesperson is equal to von Halon and date is equal to 2010-02-29. Now can you see now? So if you look at this information, you will see that, let's say this is what we are told to do, that filter von Halon and the transaction that occurred, the sales activity that occurred on 2010, in the year 2010, February 2, on February, then on the 9th, filter it and send the result to me, or yes, send it to me so that I can track the sale activities and the revenue that entered that day. So now we've been able to use our filtering button to filter von Halon. You have been able to use our where clause and then date function to filter this particular salesperson's von Halon and the date for the transaction. This is what we are told to do, and this is the results they want us to send to them. So that's how you go about it. Now, if you look at the revenue, the customer KFC, and the region was Northeast. He only sold Nature Milk, and then the price 160.95, another 179.99, and then the items 813, 814, and then the revenue. This is the revenue. So in Microsoft Excel, what you will see is the total revenue, total item, and total price. So now let's look at this same thing in Microsoft Excel 2010-02-09. Let's come down here. I will just, yes, we are still dealing with von Halon. 2010, year, 2010, and then month, February, and then date on the 9 days, 9. Then I will come to my 9. Don't forget von Halon, then I will hit the 9. Now, if you look at it, this is revenue. These are the sum of revenue, 5,307, and the customer, KFC, product, milk tea, and Nature Milk. The revenue, 5,000, that same revenue, sum of number of items, 43. Now, let's first look at the products, and then the customer, and then the region, here, and see. Now, if you look at it, you will see a region, Northeast, customer, KFC, product, Nature Milk, and milk tea, the same thing. Now, if you look at the price, now, please, I want someone to unmute himself or herself, and quickly, let's start from, please, I want you to be fast, hurry up, please. Sum this price, items, and revenue, and let's see, please, someone should unmute and let me know. We want to correlate. Don't forget we are doing analysis. We are using SQL and we are correlating it with Microsoft Excel. Since we say there are tools for analysis, so we are looking at the two together. So you will say that maybe SQL is another class on its own. So please, price, what is the total? So we'll check Excel and see the same thing and see if they are correlating together. Price, I need the total price, please. Calculator, calculate and
Total price 497.88.
497.88. Okay, let me go to Microsoft Excel and see total price. This number of items, products, and I think I have another table here for the stuff. Yeah, 497.88, right? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Please, I want you to be fast. I want you to be good. Now, let's go back to this table again. So, I want you to sum items, total items, please, and the total revenue. First, give me items. Let's check. Items. Hurry up.
43.
43, right? Okay, good. In Microsoft Excel, you will see the same thing. Can you see? I'm waiting. Please, total revenue.
5,307.73.
5,307.73. Thank you. So, sir, please just unmute yourself. There is still more you are still going to do. Just only you. Thank you. Now, if you look at Excel here, You will see the same thing here. Can you see?
Yes.
Exactly the same thing. Same thing. So SQL is a tool for analysis. Microsoft Excel is a tool for analysis as well. So we have seen that we've been able to see the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. So if you are working with an organization whereby the only thing they are using is SQL, then you don't need to be afraid. I only know how to use Microsoft Excel for filtering. This is how you can also filter in Microsoft in SQL. Same thing, same results. Here you are not connecting anything. Just write your statements, write your query, instruct your database, and then execute. It will give you what you want. So that's how to go about that. Since date is always important when filtering data, we'll look at two more. We'll look at two more before we continue. Now, I'm going to write another statement here. It's going to be select star from salesperson, Control C, and then I'll paste it here. Put my S, capital letter S. Okay, this is what I want to do this time. We want to look at another person. We want to look at Arnold Cole. Arnold Cole. So let me want to look at Arnold Cole here. Quickly check Arnold Cole. Arnold. Comma. Cole. And we want to check Arnold Cole and the date. Date will be between and date between so let's start from sales Anoko and date between 2010 04 01 2010 slash 04 slash 01 and the same 2010 slash 06 slash 31. I'll put my semicolon. Now, this is what I'm doing. This is the instruction. Select that from sales data.sales, where salesperson is equal to Arnold Cole. That is, I want to get the information of Arnold Cole. The information is, I want to get the sale transaction, the sale activities that was performed in the second quarter. Yes, second quarter. You remember in Microsoft Excel, we looked at second quarter in pivot table when we are carrying out our analysis. So now this time we want to look at quarter in SQL. Now if you look at this particular stuff, this 04, this April. April is second quarter, and then from April to June, June is also second quarter, and then 31. So that will be on the 1st, and from 1st to 31. So let's say this is what your company wants to see. First quarter, the second quarter, the transaction of this holy guy, first quarter, second quarter, since it is April, May, June, yes, sorry, second quarter. So Control plus Enter. Now this is it. This is my information. So I can export this to Microsoft Excel and further my analysis. if that is the instruction. But if you look at here, we've been able to see the transaction of this guy from April to June, and this is also the revenue of each month. This is the revenue of each month. So now, if you look at Microsoft Excel, I taught you as well. So I'm going to unfilter everything, and then we will go again. The name of that guy is Arnold Cole, this guy, and then we want to look for the quarter. So I will come down here, and I will hit my quarters. Which quarter? 2010, right? Let me first come back to my years. 2010, and then I will come again, quarters. Now, if you look at your filtering table here, your filter here, your filter, you will see that we have quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. This for 2010. Quarter 1, there is January, February, March inside. Quarter 2, April, May, June inside. June, July, August. So quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and we have 4 quarters in a year. We have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and then September, October. Wait. Okay. We have quarter 1 and then quarter 2, 4 quarters in the month. Now, if I hit my quarter 2 here, now this is my results here. This is my results here, right? Now, if you come down to your SQL, you will also get the same thing. So what I want you to do is that guy, please, I need the addition of the total price, please, total price. And let's see, addition of total price. And this one can also help us with the total of items, another person revenue, so that we can just leave and continue. Addition of this than the other.
Come down.
Yes, sir. Okay, I should scroll down, right?
Yeah. Scroll
Okay.
down. 3,452.61.
For the price, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's check it in Excel. 8,000.
3,452.
3,452.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you are correct. Can you see
452.61.
3,452.61? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So that means that we've been able to see for the second. I said we have 4 quarters in the year. We have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and then September, October, November, and December. So now this one is January, February, March, and this one is April, May, June. So we are not going for the 3rd quarter, which is July, August, September. We are not going for the 3rd quarter. Then this is the 2nd quarter, and then we've been able to see her results. So now that means if you sum the revenue, you will get the same thing. But because of time, just only sum the number of items for me. And let's move on. Number of items, please. This item, you can leave revenue. Just give me the items and let's move on from here. I'm waiting.
Scroll down. Okay,
Okay. I have to scroll down. Okay. I've already scrolled down, sir.
scroll up, please.
Okay, I should scroll up. Okay.
Yes, scroll up. 92.
92, right?
Yes, 92.
Okay. Good. Good. Now, 92. Let's check it in Excel and see. Yes, 92. So this is how you can filter your date. So if the instruction is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, then you already know the month that falls into Q1, you know the month that falls to Q2, you know the month that falls to Q3, and the month that falls to Q4, since you have 4 quarters in a year. So now we got 92 in Microsoft Excel, and also in SQL. If you sum everything, is also 92. So that means what I have just done is correct. So that is how to filter when it comes to date, quarter, year, dates, the same thing. So now I want to filter 2011-02 and then 09. I will put my semicolon, then hit my enter. Now, if you look at 2002-09 here, there is nothing here. Two things here. Now, it's either, since you see my past market, it's either I have a mistake here, or there is no transaction, or that day there wasn't a transaction. So now, before I even check here, because it's looking like I'm even correct, let me go to Microsoft Excel and do the same thing here. (2011) and then (2011) February, then on the 9th. 2011 month, February, and then this, that will be on the 9th. The 9th. I click it. Can you see? No transaction. No transaction. No transaction. Then let me continue. Let me pick 11. Whether there's transaction on the 11. No transaction as well. On the 14th. We have transaction on the 14th. So let me go back. Can you see? On the 14th, KFC, Northeast, and the total revenue, sum of number of items, 14, KFC, and products sold in that city, region, Northeast, literally. Please note it. And let me come back to my Excel and change it to 14th. So I will come down here, then I will change this one to 14. And then I will hit my enter. Can you see the same thing? The salesperson was Leonard Susan. And if you come down to your Microsoft Excel, you will see the name. This is her name. This is the salesperson that sold in that particular region. So in Microsoft Excel, in SQL, we can also get the same results. So now that's how to filter your dates. That's how to go about that. Now let's move on. Now let's say I'll come back to my stuff again. I want to show my table again. I hope you've seen the correlation they are for analysis. Now look at this particular column, the salesperson column. I want to write a query, and this is what I want to do. I want to filter this particular column using like. Like is under where clause. Now I'm going to say select start from sales. Select start from sales, comma. I'm sorry, enter where salesperson like. So I'm going to use, I will use N, letter N, and then I'm going to put a percentage at the back here. I will put my quotation, and then a semicolon. So I'm using like here. I would like to say it and enter. Now, what does it mean? Now, when you put a letter and then you put a percentage behind the letter, what we're saying is that filter this row and return back to me any salesperson that has N. That is, his name begins with N, letter N. Then you have your percentage. The percentage at the back will work for that. So it will just be, so let's start from sales, where salesperson like, then N percentage. So it will filter this salesperson, and then you can get the information you want to get. Now, let's say you want to filter the one with A from the back. So if you want to do for the back, you will just the same thing we are going to do. Control C, and then I will paste. I'll paste again. Now, if you look at here, I'm going for this. I will remove my percentage here. I'll put it in front, and then I will change the N to M, to letter M, and then I will hit my enter. Control plus enter. Nobody is having M at the back of his name. So let me use N. Let me use N, and let's see. We have Alon, we have Susan, we have John. Can you see? So that is how to use your like clause. Your like clause. Now, let's say I want to have people that has M, that is any name that contains M, just give me. I'll just put my percentage in the front, percentage at the back and in the front, then I will hit my enter. It will return anywhere it sees M. Anywhere it sees M, it will return M, 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 M. So that's how to use our like clause in MySQL. Now, another thing we want to look at is this. Let's say I want to say where salesperson. Okay, I think we've done for Von Alon. Let's move to product. So I want to say where product is equal to Nutri-Milk, or product is equal to water dispenser. Then how will I go about that? I will copy again and then paste. Don't forget we are under where clause. Control V. Then I will say where product equals to Nutri-Milk, milk, then I will also use or products equals to or product equals to milk tea. Okay. Or product equals to milk. I'll close my bracket, put my semicolon, then hit my enter. So you will see that I'll filter this particular column. So I have products that has a nitro milk and then milk tea. If you continue to scroll down, you will also see your milk tea. You are seeing a product with nitro milk or milk tea. So if there is no nitro milk, then there will be milk tea. So if you continue to scroll down, you will see your milk tea. Can you see your milk tea? Okay, good. So let's come back to, let's move to region. Let's move to region. Don't forget, we are still under where clause. Now, we want to filter the region. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So let's start from sales. Where region, where region in where region in we have northeast. Where region in northeast. And I'll put my semicolon here. So what I'm saying, I want to filter my table, and this is what I want to do. I want to see, this is what I want to do. I want to see only, I want to see only northeast. I don't want to say southeast. I don't want to see southwest. So that's why I said where region in northeast. So I will just say enter. So you will only see northeast. So maybe you were told, give us the information of the salesperson that sold in northeast region. Just only northeast. You don't need to start doing it manually. Just hit your just write your query, execute it, and get it. Just use your where clause, write your query out, execute it, it will give you. Now I can get the information of all those that had transaction in northeast. So I can get the data, then I can carry out my analysis on those people. I can know the total revenue. Remember that you can also do that also in Microsoft Excel, but because of time, we won't look that one again. You can do that one when you are learning personally because of time. Just to let you to see that they are both tools for analysis. So now, the next thing I'm doing now is this. Let me say, I want to say, you can also say where region in Northeast and region in Southwest. It will still go. Where region in Northeast and region in Southwest. It will still go. Or region in Southwest. That is your Northeast or Southwest. So now let me in Southwest. where region in northeast or region in southwest. Control plus enter. So it will give me both southwest and both northeast. So now if you also, there is something you can also do here again. So when you say where region not in, so instead of writing not in, then I can use this particular symbol. Now I've executed it already and I've seen the pass mark. So now I use less than and greater than. You can also use this as well for not in. Control V. Where region your exclamation mark and equal sign. Where region not in southwest. It will still give you not in southwest. So that is how to go about that. So now we can also quickly look at this as well. From this customer, we can say Control V. So let's start from sales, where customer, Control plus enter. It will give you all the information of KFC customer, all the information of KFC customer. So if you want to also add another customer, like I think AP and store, you will just put your where customer is equal to KFC or customer equals to that particular customer, and then you put your semicolon. You will still get the same thing. So now we are done with where clause. Now we are moving to the next thing for today, and we are going to look at aggregate function. Aggregate function. Aggregate function. Function. SQL. So now let's look at aggregate function in SQL. Now let's come back to our table here and let's see something. So I'm going to unfilter everything and perform, show you something here. Okay, now look at this table. This is a pivot table, and we have more than one pivot table here. Here, the sum of revenue, average revenue, count, maximum, and minimum. Now, if you look at here, we have sum of revenue by region, revenue by customer, revenue by product, and the number of items. Now, we have done two things. We have done something today. We we did a correlation. We correlated our Microsoft Excel pivot table with our SQL, and we can see the way they are giving us the exact results. So now, if you look at this pivot table, and pivot table, can we have something like this inside SQL? Now, just act as if you are not doing Microsoft Excel. Just let your mind be in SQL. So just take off your mind from pivot table that I've taught you. You are doing, you are carrying out analysis using SQL. Now, you want to bring this kind of table, or you were told by your boss that since you have the knowledge of pivot table, please can you give us region by revenue, customer by revenue, product by revenue, and please, and salesperson by revenue. Let's say you were told that to do it in SQL. You know, your question will be that, sir, ma, I'm not sure I've done that before in SQL, because I know that in pivot table, we can do it without any stress. At least I will just go to my field and then check in, bring in my table. But now you are telling me to do it in SQL, exact table like Excel. How do I go about this? Is it possible to do it in Microsoft? Is it possible to do it in SQL, to have a pivot table like this and then bringing this pivot table into Microsoft Excel and do the visualization from SQL to Microsoft Excel? Is it possible to have this kind of table? Yes, it is very possible. Let's see how we can go about it. Now, you come back to your, don't forget want to replicate this thing also in SQL, since we are saying that both are for analysis. So let's see how we can do that. So this is my table now. I want to replicate it here. So I will come down here again, and then I will do something now. I'll copy this stuff, and then I'll paste it here. Control V. Now, what I'm going to do is that I will say select star. I will clear my from here. I will just say select and then use my sum. Sum what? Revenue. Remember what we are looking at is revenue. I will put my revenue. So let me recopy this, Control C, and then paste it here. Select some revenue from sales, data sales. And I'll put my question mark, my semicolon, sorry. Now this is my revenue, total revenue. by region. Put my semicolon here. So select some revenue from sales data, the sales, the database, and the table. Group by region. So I'll just say Control plus Enter. Can you see? This is the region. This is our region. And if you look at 42,000 and if you look at your region, you see that 42,000, the same thing, but we have region here. We will only have only some of revenue, but no region. So, and we want it to be exact like this one. So I will come back to my table again, my query again. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put my region here. Region. Then I'll put comma. And then I will hit it again. Can you see now? Southwest, southeast, southwest, northeast, and northwest. And if you come to Microsoft Excel, you will see the same results. Now we'll now do for customer, salesperson, and the other ones. Control C, and then I will Control V, Control V, Control V. Now we've done region, and the other one is we have customer then products. We've done for region. This one will go for the customer. Here will be for customer as well. And this one will be for products. Here will be also for products. And here will be for salesperson. And here will be for salesperson as well. And then for region, we've done for region, then let's see for customer. Can you see this for customer? And then for products, for product as well, and then for the salesperson under here, and then this will give us for the salesperson. So can we call this a pivot table? Can we call this a pivot table? Yes. Well, it's not in SQL. I can't call it a pivot table because that's not the language. I can't say pivot table. I can't say pivot table. I can just say a table since it's not Excel. But you and I know that these pivot table now. I'm seeing it just like Microsoft is this, but we won't call it pivot table because we are dealing with SQL. Rather, we'll just say table. But reality is that this is a pivot table. We can't call it pivot table. So, but this is a pivot table in SQL. So I got the exact pivot table. The exact pivot table. So now, remember I said it's a tool for analysis. Now, what I have just done now, can I achieve it in Power Query? Can I? Yes, I can. How do I go about that? I'll come down here and I will need to, this thing. Will it allow me? Okay, let me try. Now, I will come down here. I'll come to my data here and then new query. No, it will be from table. Hey, I don't want to see this. So, okay. Thank God. Thank God. So, let me drag this one here so that you can see. Okay, good. Now, I want to replicate that salesperson or any of the pivot table in Power Query. So, this is my Power Query. So, if you look at my interface here, you will see group by. I will click my group by. Okay, before even clicking my group by, let me cancel. There's something I need to do. Now I'm going to rename, I'm going to duplicate, or I can use duplicate, I can use reference, but I will duplicate this table. So why am I duplicating? I'm duplicating because this is my first table that I brought in from Microsoft Excel. And I want to perform a function in Power Query using group by and not for my entire table, for a single table, for a particular table. So it means I will still retain my table that I brought from Excel, but the duplicate table is what I'm going to work on. Since I still want to use my first table, my first data for other things. So the replicate table is what I want to use group by for. So I will click my replicate table here and I will come to my group by. Now, this is my salesperson here. This is my salesperson here. And then I want to put salesperson by a revenue. So that is the new column name. Then I will come here. I will change it to son. And then I will come here. I will pick my revenue here. So I want to have the exact pivot table in Microsoft Excel. The exact thing I have in my SQL, the one we did. I want to use this same group by that we use in the one we used in MySQL. Since I noticed that we also have it inside Power Query. So I want to show you how it works as well. I will just say, okay. Can you see the same results? The same results. This one long, it was the highest. The same results. So I can come here and rename my table as sales person by revenue. So I've been able to do the same thing inside my Power Query. The exact thing. That means I can also go for my products. I can go for my customer. Yes, I can go for them. I can go for them. So that's group by in Power Query. You know, I say Power Query is another course on its own. So you see that in this course there is no Power Query, but at least when I see that there is a reason that we have a course to go there, I will go there and just show you. So it's not like full teaching. I'm just showing you little function, how to use some stuff in Power. I only taught you how to play Power Query. There's this stuff to still learn Power Query. So I will leave Power Query now and come back to my SQL. Are we doing Excel? Maybe someone decided like, hey, are we doing Excel? We are not doing Excel. We are just trying to correlate, help acknowledge that we can, what you achieve here, you can also do it, you can do it here. That's how you are. That's what makes you a data analyst. Ability to use this to carry out this. And if I don't have the knowledge of Excel, then I should be able to use SQL just for you to just know the way they are working together. So now we've used a group by, and then what else to do again? What else to do again? Is there something to do? Yes. Is there something to do on this data? Is there something to do? Now, I will come back to my Excel again, and then let me try to load this stuff so that I can see back my data. Okay, thank you. Now, I will come back to my sheet, and if you look at here, you will see I did something here. Sum of revenue, average revenue, count revenue, maximum, minimum, and then sum of number of items. I want us to get this using our aggregate function. So we have revenue, average revenue, count revenue, maximum revenue, and everything is revenue and the number of items. So I'll come back to my SQL, and then I will hit my enter. I will copy this again, Control C, and then I will Control V. Then I will say that select sum, revenue, close my brackets, comma, average revenue, close my brackets, comma, what again? Count revenue, comma, what again? Max revenue, then mean revenue. Close my brackets, and then sum items. Close my bracket. It's too long. I will just reduce it here. Put my semicolon, and then Control plus Enter. Can you see? Revenue, average revenue, your count, maximum revenue, minimum revenue, and number of items. If you come to Microsoft Excel, you will see the same thing here. You see 2,3115,909,15,079. The same thing, the same results. So yeah, we have one more thing to look at today. One more thing, and we call it a day. Now, I want to export this particular table. Let's say this person, no, group by this table into Microsoft Excel for analysis. How do I go about that? You will just come to your export here. Can you see exports? You click. And then clear here and put sales person by revenue. Then you hit your enter. So let's say I want to bring my, let's look for another one again. Let's go for customer. Control enter. I will just say the same thing, save. This will come down to your desktop. Then that one is customer by revenue. Save. So now let's leave this one and go to Excel to check something. This as well. I'll minimize. And then I will come down to, I will look for my, what I saved, salesperson by revenue, then I will click. Can you see? I've exported it, then I will just, so this is my stuff here. I can just clean the data, remove my sum, remove the bracket here, remove this bracket as well, and then come down here, remove the decimal, then put a dollar sign, remove the decimal, put a dollar sign. Can you see now? This is my pivot table. I can just design this table, format the table, and then I can go with my visualization here. Just come to my inserts, and then just bring in a chart. I will just go for this. It's my okay. This is my chart here. Then I will just drag, put my data label, remove the grid, and it's okay here. Because of time, I won't put the chart title because of time. So my axis, let me put the axis back. Then just draw it like this. Then expand it. Okay, no need to design because of time. So can you see now? This is my right from Microsoft, right from SQL. From my SQL, I brought it to my Microsoft Excel for visualization. Remember, I did this in my SQL. Now I came to Excel to further the analysis. Now, remember that we also have product as well. We also have customer by revenue. So if I click it, I will also do the same thing that I did to the first chart. So I will just bring in my chart and continue my analysis. So now let's go back to, so I've taught you how to export from, I've taught you how to export from SQL to, from SQL to Microsoft Excel. Now, because of time, how do we import from Microsoft Excel to SQL? Now, that will be the last one we are going to look at today. So next week, we'll start from there. We'll see how we can import 3-4 tables, just like how we can import 3-4 tables from Microsoft Excel to a database. That is, that let's say that database has 10 tables, 10 tables, 10 tables. How can we import those 10 tables and they will still be inside that database? 10 tables. We'll do that next week. But for today, we are just going to look at how we can import a single table, a database with a single table. Now, to do that, I'm going to come down here. You come down to your database, you click here, and then let's just give it a name. Let's title it, what can I give this? I don't want a name that is already here, a name that is existing already here. Let me just give it employer database. So remember, when you are creating a database this way, the one we did was from the scratch. We use code. This is another second method to create database. So we are still going to go into it next week. But for the sake of this class, for the sake of what I want to do, I will just stay here for today. So I will put in small letter, everything will be in small letter. Employer. This is the name of my database. And I will come down here and I will apply. Can you see? Same way when you want to create a database from the scratch. Remember the way we normally do it. Create database so. Use so. Now this one is another. This one is the second route. That one is the first route. This is the second route. So I'm showing you that way you normally write. That way you normally code. SQL will be the one to do the coding. I know some people say, if SQL will be doing the coding, me I will remember that one where I can be scratching my brain and be coding. So you will create schema employer. This is the code. So I will just say apply. Finish. So I will come down here. Remember the definition of schemas. So I will come to my schemas and I will refresh. Let me off this one. Okay. This is it, employer. This is my database. Can you see my database here? The one I just created. After refreshing my schemas, I saw my database here, just like what we did yesterday. Michael. This is my Olawale, sorry, I've deleted that one. Employer. So now that I have a database, don't forget the rule. When you have a database, you cannot have an empty database, because if you want to write query, don't forget query means you are passing set of instruction to your database and you are retrieving information from the database. That's the query we are writing. Now, this is my employer database. I don't have any table here, no table. So That means I cannot work on this database because I don't have any table. A database must have a content, a table, a data. That's why it is called database. So I only have the, I only give, I only, I've just created a database, but I have yet to put stuff, data, table inside my database. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'll come to my Excel. This is my Excel. Now, two things here. It's either I bring in existing data or I quickly make a data and then use that data. What I'm going to do is that I think I should be able to, I will just do like 5 rows data and then we'll continue from there. Let me quickly, don't let me use existing data. Let me use this data. Let me create this data. Someone may ask that, sir, since you want to create a data on your own, you want to create a data, what if I now have already made data inside my Excel file? How do I import that one from Excel to my SQL? How do I go about that one? Now it's very simple. The same thing I'm going to do here is also the same thing on how you carry it out. The difference is just that me, I'm just creating the data now. But you already have already made data. So now I will create a data now. Then your mind picture it this way. Okay, this is my data inside my file. Then I want to import it to SQL. Have that picture in your mind. You don't have a picture of this guy is creating a table now. Have a picture of I have the data already. So I want to import it to SQL. So it's the same route, but let me create the data now and let's quickly see something. I will just put just 2 rows, 2 header because of time. I'll put, let me put ID, input ID, and then let me have loyalty here. Loyalty, and then let me put 1, just 5 rows is okay. Well, let's say 10. Let's come down here and make it. Now it's okay because of time. Now it's 6:30 already, and then I'll put $100. I don't want something like this. Yes. Good. And then I'll put my $sign here. Then let me remove the decimal. Good. Now, this is my table. There is no need to put it inside every line. Don't worry. Just see this one, just see it as a table. Now, what is the next thing I want to do? Remember, I want to carry it, I want to import it into my SQL for analysis. Now, the second thing I'm going to do now is that I'm going to save this table. Now, if you will be saving it, it's going to be in CSV format. If you use Excel format, SQL will not allow it. So you are going to change it to, you are going to use CSV format to save this particular table or data. So I will just say Control S. I'll come down here and my documents, and then I will change it to CSV. This one. I will change it to CSV here. And then let me just give the name loyalty 1. Loyalty. Let me just give it loyalty table. Loyalty table, and I'll save it. So now, after doing this, remember what I told you the other time? I said picture it as you already have the data. Now, picture it now. Let it be now. Now have this in your mind now that I have a data now that I want to import to SQL. I have a data now, not the one I created now. I have a data in my file, CSV, that I want to import to SQL. Have that picture in your mind. So let's go. So you come back to SQL, you come down here again, and then you will now look for your employer, this particular database. You will right click, and then you will see table data import wizard. Table data import wizard. Then you click. Now, it's asking us, can you see? Table data import allows you to easily import CSV, JSON data files. You can also create destination table on the fly, but CSV, I already changed it to CSV. So the next thing is I'm going to browse to look for my table, my file, CSV. I think I can still make use of my quick access since I know it will be inside it. I will come to my quick access. I will click. This is my table. I will click loyalty table, and then I will open. Now this is my table, my property, my 5 parts, what I have just done. The next thing I'm going to do is that I will just click next. I will click next. Are you seeing it? This is my ID, integer, loyalty test. Remember, ID will be primary key, integer, and then loyalty test. Since you are dealing with test, words, test, and then this is my preview. This is my table, ID, and then loyalty. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit next. The following tasks will now be performed. Please monitor the execution. Prepare import data file. Click next to execute. You just follow the route. Next. Now I'm waiting. Finish. It's done. Now within how many seconds? Few seconds. But let me tell you something. If you are importing a large data like 50,000 rows, 100,000 rows, it will be 1 second. So it will not be 2 seconds. Yeah, it will not be 2 seconds since it's a large data. But here it's just 9 rows, seconds. A second, I've gotten my data. So now I will hit my next. Done. Yeah. Finish. Now, if you look at this place, you see that there is nothing like loyalty table. Remember, it should be under my employer here. If I click, nothing here at the moment. And remember that I've already imported it from Microsoft Excel into my SQL. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to refresh my schemas. So immediately I refresh my schemas, then I expect to see my table. I'll refresh. Now, can you see that? You can see another thing here, an arrow pointing to my table. Then I will click the arrow, and then I will see my table here, loyalty table. Then I will click. Can you see? So this is my table. I can start begin to write my query. So that lady that was asking the other time that can we use a dollar currency? Yeah, you are importing from Microsoft Excel. So it allowed me to bring in my dollar sign and to format my currency. But on a normal creating a database inside my SQL, it will not allow you. So this is how to import from Excel to my SQL, and then I've taught you how to export from here. So next week we are going to look at how we can import 2-3 tables from Excel into MySQL. We're going to look at that table that belongs to the same database. That's number one. And then we are going to look at table joining, how we can join table, 2 tables, 3, 4, how we can join tables and how we can analyze that 4 tables, how we can import them back into Microsoft Excel and further our analysis with Power Query. And also, we are also going to look at how we can join a table from a database and another table from a database using a foreign key that belongs to a particular schema, a particular database, to join another database. So we are going to look at that next week. Also, we are also going to look at how we can code automatically without the first route I taught you. I'm going to teach you as well next week. So since you've understood how we did coding yesterday, and then you should also know how we can also code without writing code from scratch. Rather, your SQL, MySQL, helping you with the coding. You will just put some things, put your data, put your content, put anything you want to put. Then MySQL will help you with the coding into your database. So we are going to look at that next week.